Welcome back to another exciting episode of Sharing is Caring. Today, we have a special guest who will take us on a culinary journey like no other. Get ready to be inspired and tantalized as we dive into the world of food and flowers with our guest, Avinash Patnaik. Avinash is not only a doctoral student in floriculture and landscape gardening, but he was also a top 12 contestant on MasterChef India. Join us as Avinash shares his passion for food, his journey from a secure government job to pursuing his dreams, and how he combines his knowledge of flowers with his culinary skills. Get ready to explore the art of cooking with edible flowers and discover the beauty and flavors they bring to our plates. Don't miss this captivating episode filled with inspiration and mouth-watering dishes. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our show, and thank you for being faithful listeners. Now, let's dive into this incredible conversation with Avinash.
Hi, Avinash. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for joining the show. It's a big honor to have you on the show.
And it's my honor that you felt that I can contribute to this podcast. And I'm glad that I'll be part of this podcast today.
Thank you so much. Would you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my name is Avinash Patnaik, and I'm from India. And I'm from the eastern side of India, a state called as Odisha. So I stay in the state capital of Odisha called Bhubaneswar, and I'm pursuing my PhD in floriculture and landscape gardening. And I was the top 12 contestant of MasterChef India of the current season, which was in 2023. And that was my passion related to food. So along with that, I'm professionally, I'm an agriculture student. And I used to work as an government officer in government of Odisha. And after working for 6 years, I decided to pursue my studies, which I discontinued. So I left my job, a secured government job, and joined my PhD. And meanwhile, I followed my passion in food, so that both the thing go on hand in hand. So that is in nutshell about me.
Wow, such an inspiring story.
Thank you.
How did you come in food? Was it your studies that led you to want to explore the world of food?
Frankly speaking, I think we all are very much close to food. Like one thing we might like our passion related to singing, dancing. If we don't do it, it's fine, right? But I think food is basic essentiality of a human being. So we want it or don't want it, we we have to feed ourselves. But yes, when it comes to bringing it to your passion or making an identity through it, it was never a plan for me. It was like my father was working with the defense services, so I was not born in the same state. I was born in some other place. I'm brought up in different parts of India. So I got exposure to different kind of food, and I'm basically, people know me for the Odia food. That is my local food that I'm cooking. But I got an exposure to different kind of food when I was growing. I was a big foodie. I love different kind of food, cuisines to try. Meanwhile, when I grew, I tried my hands in cooking. It was basic essentiality. I feel basic surviving skill, it was there, and gradually I explored the world of food that has so many layers. Like, it's not only that you have to be a chef. You can be a food photographer, you can be a food stylist, you could be a food researcher. So food is not limited only to having restaurant. It's an education, I feel. It's a lot of stories behind it. So that make me explore food gradually when I was growing.
Amazing. I guess so. Basically, as a chef, you might get limited by the knowledge of food that you have, but since you're doing a PhD in horticulture,
Yes. Yeah.
you probably have unlimited knowledge of flowers.
Exactly. So that is what my idea was, to put my education into this culinary art. Like if we talk about flowers, we only see them as aesthetically beautifying in our gardens or putting them in a flower vase. We don't see them beyond that. Like now, I think people are getting aware of it. So, with that educational background, I started exploring the local edible flowers, which are traditionally being consumed, and there are many other flowers that could be add value addition could be done to our food system or our daily consumption of food, and which was existing, and few I started experimenting. So not only flowers can add flavors to our food, but also add some medicinal values, some beauty to it, and sometimes also some color to it also. So that is what my education helped me to do the amalgamation of the culinary part and as well as the educational part. So yes, that really helped me a lot.
Very nice. Such a nice story. Yeah. You mentioned in some interview that it was a tough choice to go into cooking. What did your parents think? What did your parents think about?
I think like most of the parents in India, they want that their son or daughter will finish up their studies and get into a secured job and settle down in their life, right? And I think when it comes to food industry, it's very uncertain, right? Like and somehow I got government jobs after I finished a very good as an officer in the agriculture department. The same study which I have done through the same department I got involved in. And so obviously, most of the parents, they see you pursuing your careers in medicines or as an engineer. Nobody will ask or want their son or daughter to be a chef. That is, I think, the typical mindset that prevails in India. I don't know about how it goes in other countries, but yes. So they want them to be some blue collar jobs, and so when I told them, I didn't said that I will be pursuing it as a career. I said this is also an part of thing that along with my studies I can also earn through the culinary business, through food photography and styling. Even I was exploring. I was not sure of it. Okay, how it will turn out, but I had a vision. I thought that if I'll polish myself and explore. Definitely, everything has its scope, and we can explore it. But luckily, my parents are not very nagging as a person. They were very supportive. They try to understand. When I told them, and I initially started few things. I started baking, taking some baking orders through my home, and I started earning from my. I didn't have to go somewhere. People come and pick it up, and I got my first hard-earned money through baking was the 500 rupees and in Indian currency. And people came and appreciated the food. So somewhere they felt good about it, that people are coming and paying for the thing and also appreciating the skill. So, and gradually I got recognition through the media coverage. Sometimes my article used to get published, and eventually COVID happened, and I started taking some sessions for people from different organizations on making floral teas and all. So gradually they start understanding, okay, like he has some vision. It's leading him somewhere. So, and they trusted me. Uh, but yeah,
Okay.
maybe inside, maybe within inside, they might not be that secure, but they never showcased that through their words or through their face.
Okay, okay. That's an amazing story. And
Yeah.
regarding your cooking, would you say you have a cooking philosophy?
In terms of cooking philosophy, I feel I'm a person who like my grandmother or my mother, they are not like someone who has technically they do things. They don't add 1 tablespoon for this, or it's not a method cooking. It is something which is developed through skills, through years of practice. So I feel those things I try to do inculcate through my food. It should be the intention of, like, when your mother or my mother cooks, their intention is not to earn money out of it. Their intention is to how my family will be fed and they will be satisfied with that food. They will be eating healthy food, right? So I think the intention, my intention is to feed people some good food with good mindset, and with that vibe should transfer into the food as well. So that is my philosophy. And I think when people eat that kind of food, they feel more satisfied. And that vibe or that energy transferred into the food also reflect on their health and also on their faces.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, looking at your photos, I would have thought that you're more into the visual aspect. You also cook a lot with flowers.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah, but visual aspect is actually also important for you.
Yes. So as a kid, I would say first, I'm an artist. I always see things visualistically, and I did my diploma in fine art. So I think for me, when I cook something and put it on my plate, I always see how it comes on plate. Maybe it's a regular plate in which I pour the food, but I try to pour it in a proper way so that it looks appealing to somebody's eyes. The color of the dishes, the color of the plate, that is very important, how you put it on your plate. It should be symmetrical or maybe irregularly symmetrical. So that's how I think that artistic approach helped me when I take a photograph or when I put something on my plate. So, yes.
Okay, amazing. We'll put some photos in the show notes. You have seen a picture of a beautiful Gainta pita.
Oh, yeah, that Gointa pita is a very traditional pita, which is a very simple pita. And but that was my audition dish, and I created that dish for the very first time using 2 kinds of flour, local flowers. And so that pita also has a cultural significance in our Odia tradition. So basically, we have Lord Jagannath in Odisha, who is worshipped by all Odia people and also all over the country. And so during there is a holy month. What happens? There is a tree, the mango tree bear flowers, and those blossoms used to get. We have a very tropical climate, so due to thunderstorms, due to rains, those blossoms used to drop down. So during that particular festival, we called as Bodo Amavasya. On that particular day, this pita or this dish called Gointa pita is offered to Lord as well as to the mango tree, just to make that offering to God, like to please God save these flowers. from these thunderstorm or erratic weather or climate. And these Gointa pithas are offered to Mango Tree and Lord Jagannath. And so that is the story behind it. And Gointa means knot, or it's a knot you tie in a rope. So it has a shape of like a knot. So, but in that particular dish, I try to elevate that dish, a simple Gointa pitha with flowers and few flavors of the local nuts and all. So that is the story behind that dish which I created.
It's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing it.
My pleasure.
I'm burning to ask you, what are your favorite ingredients to cook with? I'm just afraid of the answer because I think I would know nothing. But anyway, we'll put pictures in the show notes and learn together.
No, I love different kind of ingredients. I never limited myself to only Indian ingredients, but I always love to learn. Like it's, as you said, it's a process of learning never ends. There's so many things to learn. I think something from that other part of the world I love to experiment on. So I have also cooked with exotic vegetables, exotic fruits. But I would say, since I stay in my locality, I love to try some local food and local ingredients. So recently, in my locality, we get these roselle leaves. I think you get that also in your country. So roselle leaves are used for having a tangy flavor. So, and even the roselle buds or the fruits are also used for, I think in USA, they make jams out of the roselle flower, and hibiscus tea also they make out of it. So that is one of my very favorite ingredient because it has a tanginess, and the moment you add sugar to it, it becomes a sweet and tangy thing. So, and you can add it to your curries, you can make beautiful jams out of it, or some chutney that we call in India. So roselle is one. And within Indian spices, so from my favorite ingredients, I would say in spices is cumin. And from the fruits, I would say it would be mango, which is in summers we get. So through mango, you can make different delicious dishes out of. So mango is one of my favorite varieties of mangoes we get in this tropical climate. So mango is my favorite fruit. And fruits, I love all kind of fruits, like all tropical fruits are my favorite, like sapota, like these mango, but mango will be always in the top list. And cumin is one spice I always love to cook with. I add into my dishes. And in terms of vegetables, my favorite vegetable would be pumpkin. I love pumpkin a lot. So,
Nice.
and also some of the vegetables which are like starchy vegetables, like colocasia and elephant foot yam. So these are some of the vegetables I love, adore to have. And if it comes to flowers, pumpkin flower is one of my favorite. I think we make I think all over the world, pumpkin flowers are used in different forms, mostly fritters. So I love pumpkin fritters that we called as kokharupula pitho in Odia. So that is made with rice flour. So pumpkin flour is one of my favorite ingredient or dish that we make to eat. So I think pumpkin, cumin, and some colocasia and roselle leaves. These are my go-to things to cook with.
That's so amazing. Your cooking sounds so delicious and so vast and diverse. So wow, definitely, yeah.
Thank you.
So now next question is, what's next for you? You talk about a book. Yeah. What are your plans?
My plans for future, you mean to ask?
Yes.
In future, see, I need to finish my PhD, which I'm doing right now. So I'm working with lotus flowers right now. It's a germplasm evaluation work which I'm doing. So by this year, I need to finish my PhD, and I want to join some educational institute where I can teach and make students learn more about these plants, flowers, and meanwhile do my research, scientific research on these plants. And meanwhile, I want to write a book on these edible flowers and introduce these recipes, these stories around these flowers and their amazing medicinal values, their aesthetics in a book, and small home cafe maybe where I can host very few people, not very commercial one, where I can host 4 to 5 people in a day and curate some different kind of recipes and dishes where they can come and eat, know about their stories, and give their feedback and experience what they felt. And some pop-ups maybe if I get some opportunities. I want to travel other countries to showcase my dishes and what we cook in eastern part of India, because I think somewhere people have less idea about eastern part of India. What we eat is not that popular in Odisha. The Odia cuisine is not that popular. So I want to popularize that so that it reach out to more people. People read about it and experience it. So that are my future plans, keeping along with my academic professional thing together.
That's amazing, and I hope if we can help you spread the Odia cuisine or spread the knowledge on edible flowers or anything like that, we'll do everything to help you.
Thank you. That means a lot, and I would love that you guys sometimes comes to this part of India and taste those food.
It's planned. Don't worry, it's planned.
Right.
Okay, last question for you. Any advice to share with our listeners?
I would say during my journey, I feel people should do what they believe in, conserve the nature, and we are in a phase where there is a climate change. So I think we need to come closer to the environment and to the nature, and like we need to be conscious when it comes to doing things like as a person, I don't throw the kitchen waste. I make compost out of them, so that that could be where it comes from. That it goes down into the soil. It doesn't go to a landfill. So when I travel, I carry my own cutlery. So I avoid to use single-use plastic. So I think along with eating habits and things, we need to do things what we believe in and how we can come close to the nature and do things. And I think that add a lot of value to our life. So that is what I would like to tell them. Just come closer to nature. Be conscious on our actions towards nature. Please don't avoid single-use plastics and try to grow their own plants or some whatever they can do in their limited space. That would be great for them for their mind and for a holistic approach in life.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, Avinash.
It was my pleasure to talk to you and share my point of view and my stories to you. So it was really great talking to you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yeah.
So we keep in touch and...
Sure. Would love to be in touch.
And yeah, bye then.
Thank you. Have a great day.
In this episode, Avinash shares his inspiring journey from a government job to pursuing his passion for food. He talks about his love for cooking with edible flowers and how he combines his knowledge of flowers with his culinary skills. Avinash also discusses his plans to popularize Odia cuisine and spread awareness about the importance of conserving nature. Get ready to be inspired and tantalized by this captivating conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to our show and leave a review. Thank you for being amazing listeners. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes of Sharing is Caring.